quarterbacks that had this in their game was he'll show you where he wants to throw the football. Like his eyes will take you to where the ball wants to go. And I think that's something that he's going to have to learn is when you catch that snap and you're looking right away where you want to go, everyone's just going to play zone against you because you're going to bring all those guys to the party, right? Is that something that you guys will pick up on tape and stuff?
Absolutely. Xavier Howard said it about Tua this past weekend where when you take away his first read, he starts to get panicked. What you just described on Caleb Williams, he has the ball, he's looking. And
he looks so quick.
It's not there.
Some of those times he caught the snap and it was like, I want to throw the ball there, and I feel like those are speeding him up.
Ben Johnson had preached to him, get the ball out quick, and completions. So even if it wasn't the home run, he was trying to make as many.
I think he's trying to do the right thing.
It's both ends of the spectrum. From last year where you're holding it too long, now this year you're trying to make sure you get it there right away. You've got to find some middle ground, and to your point, with the reps eventually.
And then you don't want to go to the extreme of trying to be somebody like a Matthew Stafford, where, Jason McCourty's playing in the center of the field, and I know I wanted to throw it over there, and I'm just looking over here for so long, and then all of a sudden you muddy your picture.
You're watching Stafford now, and you got to go back and probably watch year 2 Matthew Stafford and see the progression to where he got to, where now he can manipulate and move defenses to where he wants.
Would you guys, though, as a defense, would you guys talk about that, like the eyes stuff, and be like, hey, wherever he looks, run?
We used to talk about it with Russell Wilson when he was young and he was in Seattle, where he was so good, but when he would get the ball, he would look for the slant. If the slant wasn't there, with Doug Baldwin, now he's taken off. So everybody's prepared, especially the defensive line, to know that everybody's at the point of attack.
That's what the Lions defense will be looking to do this week. Let's get a little bit more on the Lions side of that as we go to the NFL Live Lounge with Peter.
Yes. Good afternoon and welcome to the NFL Live Lounge. The most interesting man in the NFL this week is Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a former #1 overall pick, has played in a Super Bowl, 2 conference title games, and has beaten Drew Brees in New Orleans with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. He ranks in the top 40 all-time in NFL history in passing yards, passing touchdowns, and completions. And he's still just 30 years old. On paper, Jared Goff is a made man. And yet, after 1 week of year 10 of his NFL career, the doubters are coming out of the woodwork. See, in the offseason, Goff lost his longtime play caller when his former offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, left Detroit to be the head coach of the rival Bears. Goff's first game without Johnson was dreadful. Detroit's offense was feckless in Green Bay, and Goff didn't look like the guy who Lions fans were chanting, Jared Goff, Jared Goff, for at the NFL draft a year ago. Jared Goff's 5.8 yards per pass attempt on Sunday was close to 3 yards fewer than he averaged last year, when he ranked second in the league behind only Lamar Jackson. Goff threw a pick, he was sacked 4 times, and the fireworks of that offense that he orchestrated last year had no sizzle and no spark. Look, Goff's had great success in this league, but the stat that is being tossed around this week is bleak and damning. In games where Sean McVay and Ben Johnson weren't on his sideline or calling the plays, Jared Goff is now 3-18-1. And the football gods are funny. Guess who he's against this Sunday? You got it. Ben Johnson's Bears. Look, I don't think it's time to panic in Detroit just yet, and Jared Goff is too damn good and too damn accomplished to have to listen to critics after 1 bad game. But if Sunday doesn't go well, if Detroit loses, if Jared Goff falters again, just a year after the Lions were the 1 seed and had the best offense in the NFL, well, we may be having a different conversation on Monday morning.
Oh, I love it. I want to go to the lounge. I guess we all just went there together. Peter, beautiful.
What a nice piece by Peter. Now, the only thing I would say is it's early September. Maybe we could have a fall setting. You know, we say that for November, December.
Yeah, no, come on.
It's
all right.
78 up.
But seriously, so Peter's bringing up an interesting point here. With Goff, is it that Sean McVay or Ben Johnson was just like the key here? They're magicians of sorts as offensive minds, and Jared Goff is the beneficiary, and now that he doesn't have either one of those, he's just going to come back down to earth and become a Cinderella of sorts, or is it just that he had a week 1 struggle?
I would tell you that quarterbacks are often tied to their play caller. And the play caller elevates the quarterback. And when the play caller's gone, it drops the quarterback down. I think that when you look at all the great quarterbacks in our league right now, they're often attached to really good play callers. And that doesn't make Jared Goff a lesser quarterback. It's just the reality of the world. It's hard to play that position when you don't have advantages created by your play call. And so I think Jared's shown who he is with big-time play callers. And I think a lot of quarterbacks would have struggled this past weekend in Detroit's offense. I don't think there's a lot of guys that would have found success.
I look at it and it's only week 2, and we can all overreact. But at the same time, to your point, Shregs, the situation that's in front of us, Ben Johnson is coming back to Detroit. It's like the kid left to go to college and he called back to check on mom and dad, and they're going through it. They done found out they don't like each other. They're on the brink of divorce. So like Ben Johnson's coming back and he's looking at this home, and now for Jared Goff, for Dan Campbell, for Johnny Morton, like you have to figure this thing out, because I look at this offense, if they go in there, it's not about winning or losing the game. If this offense look like it's in complete disarray, and we're talking about Jahmyr Gibbs and his yards per catch that he has, the explosive element completely being removed, we're really going to question what Jared Goff can do.
Before you jump, let me say something. For everyone who wants to go, well, Jared Goff, guess what? Jahmyr Gibbs is great. He didn't look like Jahmyr Gibbs. Sam Laporta's really good. Didn't look like Sam Laporta. Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't look like Amon-Ra St. Brown. So it's not just the quarterback feeling the loss of Ben Johnson.
I would add this. There's a lot of noise in Detroit this week. Dan Campbell seemed a little frustrated with the reporters who kept on asking questions. John Morton seems to what is that, right? So there seems to be a lot of noise after 1 week. I think Goff is a made man in this league. 4-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl appearance, I think it's crazy. At 30 years old, he still has those critics, and yet that stat is damning. 3-18-1 when he doesn't have McVay or Ben Johnson on those sidelines.
By the way, here's another stat that may be encouraging for Lions fans. Goff has won his last 10 games following a loss.
Let's go.
Likes to bounce back.
Come on, Jared.
Whatever.
We're back on NFL Live. Look at Dan Quinn, head coach of the Washington Commanders, arriving there in Green Bay, getting ready to coach a game that's much anticipated. He's got the turtleneck going tonight. I love that. Nice look for Coach. All right, week 2 kicks off tonight. Those Commanders head to Green Bay for the matchup with the Packers. Let's build out a play sheet presented by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Dan, you first. Is Jayden Daniels in with at least 45 rushing yards tonight?
I'm going to go more. And the reason why is I expect Washington to play no huddle, try to put Micah Parsons in conflict, meaning not block him. And so you got to pay attention to Jayden. You got to pay attention to Debo. I think Micah's going to be over aggressive at times. Maybe think when he's tired. That's going to allow Jayden to run. Also, when he's rushing, Jayden ain't going to hang back there in the pocket and let Micah chase him down. I expect him to take off a couple times as well.
Peter, speaking of Micah, he got his first sack as a Packer last week. He was hunting people down. Over under half a sack for him tonight.
Well, I think the more interesting over will be whether he gets more than 30 snaps. I think he will. I think he's going to be on the field a bit. He's had a history with Jayden Daniels, played him twice, and he did sack him a few times. I'm going to say over. Micah Parsons gets at least 1 sack tonight.
Hey, we're hammering the over so far. J-Mac, Matthew Golden had 2 catches in his NFL debut last week. Over under 2.5 receptions for him in this one.
We're hammering the over. I might as well go ahead and stick with it. I'm going over on this, and I hate to do it because it's a wide receiver. I want DBs to blanket these guys. But at the same time, Matthew Golden was open quite a bit in their game this past week. I think the coaches go back and look at it. They're saying, hey, let's figure out a way to get this guy some more touches and targets. I think it happens tonight.
All right.